West Ham United 2, Bournemouth 2. Well, that game in the second half certainly livened up. The lineup formation, Potter went with 4 at the back rather than the 5. I guess he had not much choice really, he had to do that. Mavropanos came out of the team, Creswell and did as well, and it was Todibo alongside Kilman with Wan-Bissaka and Ollie Scholes as the full-backs. And then I don't know what you want to call, was it a 2 in the middle with Alvarez and Ward-Prowse, 2 in the middle, and then we had Bowen in the first half up front with Kudus on the right, Paqueta playing slightly on the left, and Souček as the kind of the number 10. Lacklustre the first half yet again. It was one of those games in the first half where we were starting to think, well, this isn't going to get any better yet again. It was quite a disappointing first half. Mistake by the keeper, probably the only shot they had on target, but they scored from it. And we went into the end of the first half thinking, here we go again. There was nothing to write home about, nothing to get excited about. It just seemed West Ham United just yet again we're just going to go through the motions of another defeat, another poor display, nothing to really sort of get excited about. Second half came out, same lineup, no changes were made immediately, but 10 minutes into the second half he made a change, and Nicholas Fullkrug came on and changed the game for West Ham United. Got to be honest, Fullkrug looked really good. He looked up for it. He looked like, fit. He was chasing down every ball. All of a sudden, he gave us the urgency that was missing in the first half. And he made the difference. And what a goal. I mean, first of all, from the James Ward-Prowse corner. And what a bullet of a header. And I'm pleased for Fullkrug. You want these players to do well. You want these players, who wear a West Ham shirt to demonstrate that they're actually capable of putting in a performance. And he absolutely did. And good for him. I'm really pleased in that respect. So 1-1. And then we got our heads in front. And Jarrod Bowen, another really decent goal. Another good set build-up play. And Jarrod Bowen got a goal, and it was a fantastic play from Mohamed Kudus, who in the second half went out on the left when Fullkrug came on. Paqueta, who started actually the second half up front with Kudus out on the left-hand side, and Bowen went on the right rather than being up front. Kudus beat his player down the flanks, got a great ball in, and Jarrod Bowen nodded it in. And we actually looked a better team. And all we really had to do was just hold on. That's what we were wishing for. But it wasn't to be. They got back into it. I think they had two shots on target, 2 goals. But then again, what more do you want? That's the nature of the game. You take your chances, and Bournemouth did just that. Look, overall performance, second half, something to hold on to. I think is all I can say. The first half, it was forgetful. Yet again, a forgetful first half. Something to it was. I don't understand it, because you look at the lineup that was put out there, and you'd argue it was all right, but I guess we didn't have the penetration. Going 4 at the back with a 4-2-3-1, we just didn't have the penetration in the first half. And Fullkrug, all credit to the man. He came on and he actually bossed. He really caused problems for Bournemouth's defence, and he bossed it. And he's the player that got us back into this game. He's the player that got us, almost the win that we really craved for. So there is something to look forward to. You've got to look forward now to the next game, and you've got to hang your hat on what the changes that were made. There were positive changes. I thought Ward-Prowse was going to come off. Interesting that Alvarez came off and Souček came off, but neither of them really sort of offered much. Ward-Prowse is all right. but we just like, I think there were times in the second half where his legs sort of were not up to it. As the game was wearing on, he was getting a bit tired. But credit to Potter for having made the changes. Credit to Potter for having put in some effort as to who he wanted in the team. Ferguson, interestingly, didn't come on. He brought Guilherme on, and Guilherme later on in the game showed good glimpses again, some really good touches, got pace, beating his man down the flank, getting the ball across, etc. And well done to him as well. I'm pleased for him for having come on and demonstrated that he's got something about him. So positives. Positive that Bowen scored, positive that Nicholas Fullkrug put in a great second half performance, positive that young Guilherme came on and did better. It picked up, when we made the changes, when Fullkrug came on, all of a sudden you could just see the players around just picking up that pace a little bit, getting more into it, being a little bit more forthright. We were again in the first half second to every ball, and yet when Fullkrug came on, all of a sudden there was that urgency about us. There was a much better urgency about West Ham United in the second half, and that was down to Fullkrug. That was down to Potter bringing Fullkrug on. Look, some positives. First half, very negative. First half was poor. If we'd have carried on that way, I think I think the knives would have been out for Potter. But he made the changes that he needed to make. Fullkrug got his goal, and I'm pleased for him. You can see him starting now. You can probably see what kind of lineup we may have in the next game. And 4 at the back again. I'm an advocate of 5 at the back. I don't mind it if so long as your wing backs, maraud forward, leaving it a 3 at the back. So for him to change it to a 4 in this game, fair play. Let's see what he does now in the next game. But a draw. It kind of felt like it was going to be a draw all over. I did predict a 2-1 win, and we almost got that. But Bournemouth got themselves back into it. Fair play to Bournemouth. They've got a lot of results lately, draws, defeats, etc. So they fought hard and they got themselves back into it. But there wasn't much about them that I was sort of worried about. I think we matched them, more than matched them in the second half. We were the better team in the second half, but you can only be the better team if the result is that you win the game. They were better in the first half, but that was more because we were extremely poor. Still, we move on. A draw is not the worst result in the world. A draw was okay. Would have been nice to have the win. We had some chances. We just didn't put them all away. And we move on. At least, if nothing else, we finished this game on a positive rather than negative, which I think is a massive bonus in a lot of respects. And let's see what happens here on in. What more can I say? I'm really pleased for Fullkrug. I think Bowen getting that goal, I think would have done him the world of good. I think Kudus creating that goal would have done him the world of good. I think Kudus actually played quite well today. Paqueta even sort of picked his game up, certainly in the second half. He was allowed that creativity, and he had someone to look towards. When Fullkrug came on, Paqueta had a target man to try and get to. It was all right. Look, it wasn't a win, but at the end of the day, we didn't lose. But the positive is that there's a lot to take away from that with the likes of Fullkrug, etc. And let's see where we go from here. Thank you all for watching. If you're new to the channel, do become a subscriber. It's all free to subscribe, etc. All the content is free. And if you enjoy the video, please hit the like button. Thank you all, and I'll see you all soon.